Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here today. Now today's reading will be a special reading that I put out at each full moon. So this is this month's full moon spread. It's for the full moon happening from the 27th to 28th of June. It happens around 4 or 5 in the morning on the 28th, so I'm putting the 27th, 28th. It's the full moon in Capricorn, otherwise known as the full strawberry moon. For the reading, you can see I've already laid the spread that I usually do for the full moon. And for this month's spread, I'm using the Celestial Tarot. This is a very beautiful deck. It's by Kay Steventon and Brian Clark. And I'll go through sort of the overall meaning for each of the cards as I work through the spread, but I will give you additional information from this particular deck because it's a little bit different. The Celestial Tarot, it does include a lot of astrological information and sort of, additional insight. So I'll add that in as we move through this. Just a quick reminder, be looking out for the full moon giveaway video that I always put out along with the full moon spread video. I put out a giveaway video. If you're interested, just watch the video. There I explain what you need to do to get entered into the drawing for a free tarot reading with me. And what else? I felt like there was something else. Oh yes, the July monthly readings, they will be coming out during the upcoming week, so be looking out for those. And those are general readings for each sign for the month of July. As I usually remind you, all of the videos that I put out here on YouTube, they are general in nature, so the messages may or may not resonate. The only way to get a truly personalized reading with me would be to order a private reading. If you're interested, you can connect with me using the INSTANTGO app on your phone. Just download the app and then search me up on there. I'm Changing Phases Tarot, or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com, or take a look at my site where you'll find information about the types of readings that I offer as well as pricing. And the site information, it's changingphasestarot.weebly.com. All right, so let's get into it. So we start off over here. This is the card in the position of what we are releasing or should be releasing or letting go of at the time of this full moon happening this month. And we have the 5 of Cups. The next position is for what we are retaining or what we need to hold close to us at the time of the full moon. And we have the 2 of Cups. Card number 3 is what we might be receiving, what might be coming into our life at the time of the full moon. We have the Prince of Pentacles. Card number 4 has to do with surrounding energy or how the world might be affecting us at the time of the full moon. And we have Major Arcana number 12, the Hangman. Card number 5 is what we might be giving to others at the time of the full moon. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. Beginning soon, we have the Sun. This is card number 19 of the Major Arcana. And the center of the reading, or what, is the main lesson that we might be learning at this time, at the time of the full moon, is the 3 of Wands. Okay, so before I actually begin with the messages, it's good to remember that this full moon in Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn is very much about, it's very work-oriented, and it really has to do with, or this full moon in Capricorn really has to do with, working hard, taking back your power, going after doing something that you really want to do, that you desire, and you having the power, to really sort of build the life that you want right now. Capricorn's, the sign of Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which has to do with structure. So at the time of the full moon, this might be a good time for you to focus on structure, or having more structure or building structure with regards to, your life direction, with regards to your career, your responsibilities in general. So, kind of putting everything in order, right? Having more structure in those areas of your life. But beginning here, okay, so we have this Five of Cups in the first position for what we might be releasing. And the Suit of Cups deals with feelings, emotions, relationships. The Five of Cups, we usually think of it as it's sort of this kind of despondent type of, it's maybe missing out on something because you're very much focused on, what you don't have. For example, this deck doesn't show it quite like that, but in, a lot of the tarot decks, it shows 3 cups sort of spilled, and then, or just there, and then the person is missing out on the 2 cups, which we actually have here in the spread, the 2 of Cups, which is the soulmate card, right? It's a very good card for love and relationships and partnerships, and how that person might be missing out possibly on that because they're only focused on kind of the negative or what isn't working or what they're not happy with, what they're feeling discontent about. So it's very much a card of sort of remorse at times, of sadness, disappointment, can be loss as well, and the sadness that goes along with this potential loss. It can also have to do with if you haven't reached a goal, sort of falling short of a goal. It can have to do with, just basically feeling sort of very disappointed with something. But again, it's this focusing on, what you don't have, focusing so much on the loss that you're not aware of, not paying attention to new opportunities, or new things that might be coming in here. Sort of this pessimistic kind of attitude and wasting energy on these negative emotions instead of, trying to kind of see the silver lining in the situation of focusing on what you still do have, right? On the good that you still do have. Now, this does appear as something that we're releasing here. So for some of you, there might be, this releasing of feelings of sadness, disappointment, just letting that go now. Now maybe it's time, or you're beginning to really focus on, and that's interesting because the Two of Cups, it appears here as what you're holding close to you. So you're releasing with this Five of Cups, all of the sadness and disappointment. And just like I was saying, focus on the 2 cups that are still standing. Focus on, the positive. You have that here in the next position is what you need to hold close to you. Okay. So with this Two of Cups card, it can definitely be, can be, within a romantic relationship. This can be a very deep soul connection with another person. If this is just more of a friendship or even a partnership, then it's a good, very strong, it's a very balanced, it's sort of seeing eye to eye. It's again, more cups energy, but it's that very sort of seeing yourself in the other person, finding that common ground. It's a very loving, caring energy with the Two of Cups. This card can even be, or it can have to do with marriage, sort of deepening the relationship, taking a relationship to the next level. So, and this is what we're holding on to, what we're attaining. So there might be, a marriage here or just a deep friendship and partnership. Sometimes this card appears also when there's healing involved, right? If there's maybe you're forgiving somebody or there's a truce, sometimes this card comes up when that is the case. And interesting because let me give you additional info about each of the cards from this particular deck because it is slightly different. So with the Five of Cups, again, what we're getting rid of or letting go, releasing. In this particular deck, it has to do with, you see the name on the card is Ophiciuchus. I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong, sorry. Sorry if I did. Sorry if I just butchered that. But it has to do with, it's a serpent bearer, okay? And it has to do with healing. And so this card, it sort of speaks of this liminal, this in-between space, you know, between wounding and healing, between where we, you know, we're feeling as though we're hurt, we're wounded, and then moving on and actually healing from it. So, and this oftentimes comes about through interaction with, you know, sort of your higher self, with also, you know, imagination, you know, play or letting yourself concentrate on other things such as creative endeavors, things like that. So this healing there, and then with the Two of Cups, you know, there is also that can be a truce, or, you know, or sort of healing that goes along with the Two of Cups even. If there's a, you know, relationship that maybe there has been, you know, some type of setback or disappointment, or just feelings of disappointment or loss. And then this is a, you know, it's a sort of giving that person or the relationship another chance. And this is what we are holding on to here. And this particular deck, you know, the Two of Cups is the Ursa Major. Okay. And this is, you know, it's the constellation known as the Big Dipper. So, you know, it can have to do with, again, it's emotions, and it's, you know, the connecting to another person. But it's also about taking the relationship or deepening the relationship through, you know, revealing sort of yourself, revealing your true feelings, being more honest, being more open. So that's, you know, we're being asked to kind of hold on to that and retain all of those things at the time of the full moon. What we have as receiving, so what we might, you know, be receiving, what might be coming into our life, is the Prince of Pentacles. And, you know, princes, or this would typically be, in the traditional tarot, the Prince of Pentacles would be the Knight of Pentacles. In this particular deck, they use the Princess and then the Prince for the Page and the Knight. So this would be the Knight of Pentacles. And knights in the tarot, you know, they're the ones who they bring in messages, but they also, you know, they act on messages. So usually the Knight of Pentacles comes in to, you know, he's not a very fast energy, okay? Out of all of the knights, he is the slowest moving. He's very much about, you know, keeping his eye on the prize, plodding along very slowly, very deliberately, until he reaches that end goal, that prize. He's the slow and steady wins the race knight. He can be a little bit stubborn, but he's very hardworking. You know, he's very trustworthy as well. And he's very much about, you know, keeping going. No matter what comes up before him, you know, he will keep going, keep plodding along, working very hard until he reaches his goal. So with this coming in, you know, this could be, it could be, you know, it has to do with money, finances, a job even, because this is Pentacles energy. So earth energy, it deals with the things here in the material realm that we can, you know, that we can touch and feel. We usually associate it with material prosperity, our homes, our jobs, the money that we earn, family. So that could be something coming in, you know, might not be that quick, but there's something coming in to do with finances or your home, you know, maybe a job. But it really is about, you know, being very resourceful, being very goal-oriented, you know, focusing on the task at hand. Also, you know, really focusing on your skills, focusing on your abilities. And, you know, knowing that by working hard, you will ultimately reach your goal. You will attain your goal. Now, here in what we have surrounding us with the Hangman, there might be, you know, and again, this is slow energy, slow-paced energy with the Prince of Pentacles. And then we have more sort of slow, stagnant energy with the Hangman here in our environment. So things might, you know, they might be beginning around the time of the full moon. You might start to see things kind of, you know, moving forward. But this might not actually happen now at the full moon. It might take a little while to kind of progress, to move forward, because the Hangman really is about, you know, retreating, taking that time out to focus on the situation, to reflect, to also to surrender. The Hangman, more than anything, is about surrendering to the situation. In this particular deck, it's almost difficult to see the Hanged Man because we have Neptune here, moving very quickly, which is interesting because we have, you see in the back, we have the Hangman there. Kind of looks like he's almost hanging on the mast of a ship. And then we have Neptune moving very quickly across the, this forward, or the what am I trying to say, like the front part of the card, and then, the Hangman sort of in the back. So it's kind of opposing energies, I feel like, because usually the Hangman is very, very slow, very slow-paced energy. But Neptune is coming in here quite quickly. But again, the card we usually associate it with surrender, with sacrifice, needing to see things from a different perspective. Obviously, with this Hangman hanging upside down, he's giving in to, he's surrendering to being in that position because he understands that it's needed in order for him to gain a new perspective, in order for him to see things from somebody else's point of view or from a different point of view. He realizes that, this is what's needed. And even though, yes, we have, Neptune kind of rushing across the front of the card here, the fourth part of the card, it really is about, letting go and sort of suspending any type of judgment, letting go of control. Sometimes this has to do with, thinking about unconscious patterns that we might have going on. So there might be something surrounding you, or how things are affecting it might have to do with some type of surrounding or some type of unconscious pattern, and needing to release that, needing to let that go. It could have to do with, going back over here, it could have to do with this disappointment. It could have to do with, the seeing things from a new perspective. It could have something to do with this new job offer. With the Two of Cups, going back here, like I was saying, it doesn't have to be, a romantic relationship. It could be partnering somebody. If we think of this more, in terms of a career reading or focusing more on finances, job, this could be, you've had a setback, there's been a disappointment, but there is still some type of opportunity there. Maybe you've been missing out on it. Maybe you haven't paid attention to it, but that could involve partnering with another person. And we do have that again, this sort of partnering up with somebody, possibly working with somebody, with the Three of Pentacles card. And this shows up in the what you're giving to others. So more Pentacles energy, again, Earth energy, like we were talking about over here with the Prince of Pentacles. But the three, it has to do with, or it can have to do with reaching a short-term goal, but ultimately sort of keeping your eye on the prize, understanding that if you continue, if you keep following the same path that you're on, working hard, doing the things that you're doing, then you can ultimately hope for, a favorable outcome. Sometimes the Three of Pentacles suggests that there's a need to, review things, kind of take a step back, think about how things are going. If you do continue on this one particular path, how is that, is that going to ultimately get you to the end, whatever that end goal is, or do you need to change something, tweak something right now? But, with it being a 3 here, it can have to do with partnering with another person, right? Working with others, partnering up to reach that goal. And in this particular deck, the Three of Pentacles, it's called Delphius. Let me hold it up again. See, so it's called Delphius. And this was the name that the Greeks gave to, or the sacred fish was the name that the Greeks gave to the constellation named for Delphius. And so, what this card really symbolizes in this deck is metamorphosis. It has to do with skill, dedication, but also change. So, you know, again, possibly needing to change something here. And we have the maybe needing to change your perspective, you know, maybe that's going on around you, needing to change in the sense that you might need to pay attention, or that maybe there's something you've been missing out on or haven't noticed. And then we have this maybe change coming in, you know, with this Three of Pentacles. Again, it can have to do with, you know, meeting a short-term goal, receiving some type of, you know, recognition for a job well done with this card as well. But it's also about the partnering up, you know, working with others, possibly changing in order to work with others, or changing plans in order to reach, you know, whatever your end goal is. And obviously the end goal is going to be different for everybody. Now what we have here is beginning soon is a beautiful card. It's another major arcana. This is the Sun. And the Sun is probably the most positive card to have in a reading, right? It's probably the most positive of all the cards in the tarot. And it really does speak of, you know, just it's good health. It's all is right in the world. It's, you know, the sun comes in to shine down, to illuminate the situation. It brings in a general feeling of well-being. If there's a question, right, that you might have had, then the Sun is usually a big yes to whatever that question might be. It also can have to do with children, can have to do with, it also has to do with openness and being, you know, being open, being positive, keeping a positive attitude, and being open to receiving support even, you know, or feedback. And we do have the partnering up. So there could be, you know, and this is coming in. Again, be open. Where was else? I was talking about being open somewhere back here. I don't remember now. But being open to people coming in to possibly help you, receiving that support. This could also have to do with, you know, a new phase of creativity beginning, greater, you know, or personal growth, obstacles from the past finally, you know, being overcome, letting go of those obstacles, right? The Sun is here to say, you know, all is right in the world. And that's, you know, that's what we can expect, you know, beginning soon. Soon is obviously relative, time is relative, but, you know, this is definitely, you know, the full moon is kind of bringing all of these energies in, right? And heralding this beautiful new phase with the Sun card here. And then at the center of the reading, you know, what we're learning, what's the main lesson? We have the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands, the suit of Wands, deals with it's fire energy. So we usually associate it with, you know, the day-to-day tasks in life. It has to do with the work that we do. It's our homes, work that we do around the home. It has to do with creative projects, creativity. It has to do with our own drive and passion and determination for doing, you know, the job that we do, for doing the, you know, for doing whatever creative project that we do. It's our own sort of ambition and determination for doing that as well, right? It's our passion, it's fire, it's fiery energy, it's very exciting. And the Three of Wands, it's the card, this obviously, you know, this is a very different deck, so it doesn't show the Three of Wands like in the traditional tarot. Usually it has, there's a man, he's standing up on a mountain, not a mountain, on sort of a cliff top, and he's staring out to sea, right? And he's waiting for his ships to come in. So it's the card that comes after the Two of Wands, and it's sort of the, you know, what comes next after the decision that has been made with the Two of Wands, the choosing one path over the other. This is about return on investment. You know, okay, I've picked one path, or I've picked one project, I've picked one job. You know, I've invested a lot of my hard work and time and energy into that. Or it could be a relationship. You know, I'm with this person, we've decided to give things a second go, or I'm with this person and we're deciding to take our relationship to the next level. And I've invested of myself in the relationship. I've been very caring. I've done a lot of nice things for the person. I've shared, you know, my feelings. I've I've opened up to the person as well. So it's all about, you've invested a lot, whatever that means, whether this is in a relationship or career. And now you're sort of standing there and saying, okay, and what am I going to get in return? What return on investment am I going to get? It's the threes in the tarot. They usually are, they're cards that speak of lots of opportunities. The Three of Wands is a card of great opportunity, right? Sort of endless opportunities. It's very expansive energy. Since there is this sort of connection to the sea or being by the sea, or by water, for some of you, maybe it has to do with either this, this partnering up, or, this news of a job. It could have to do with a place by water. It could have to do with somebody overseas. It could have to do with you, actually going overseas, or needing, or being in some way. This is, attached to something overseas. But it's a very good card. I mean, it's a card of great, of great opportunity, again, an adventure. In this deck, we have Perseus here. Let me hold it up again. And Perseus really personifies courage and heroism, right? So again, it's this fiery spirit about, really going after what you want. And yes, you're waiting to, for that return on investment, but you're also not sort of standing still and just not doing anything while you're waiting for this all to come in. You're still doing what you do. You're still working hard. There might be a new course of action here. There might be new plans even. There might be a new career. Sometimes, in this particular deck, this card can have to do with study, or travel, or new plans that have to do with creativity. So again, this overseas or even traveling, it's definitely coming in with this Three of Wands here. So, to kind of tie everything together, I would say what's needed to be released at this time for many of us is this sort of regret or these sad feelings attached to, things that maybe they didn't work out in the past. Maybe could be a relationship. Maybe this is a relationship that you weren't feeling that satisfied in, or it could be a job that you weren't feeling satisfied in. Maybe you were in a job and things didn't quite go the way that you had wanted. And so it's, there was a kind of a disappointment, there was loss. But you need to release that, okay? Because we have, what you need to hold on to is this beautiful, this Two of Cups, this possibly, this relationship, this deep connection or deepening of a connection with another person. This could be, for some of you, this could be in the form of, taking things to the next level. For others, this could be partnering up with somebody, within, it could even be, this new, whatever this new job opportunity or creative, opportunity coming in with this Prince of Pentacles here, or new opportunity, to make money. It can definitely have to do with working with other people, being open to receiving their help, being more optimistic as well with the Sun and the Two of Cups, needing to focus on the positive, right? Remain positive. Release any sort of negative and just be positive. There might be a shift, there might be a change in your thinking, even a change in plans. But I feel it's more to do with, the way that you're viewing something. Maybe it hasn't always been easy for you to, to be open, whether this is in relationship or being open to working with other people. And so there's this new perspective or shift in perspective, this metamorphosis needed. And then ultimately, there's success here with this Three of Wands. This is very exciting. It's, it's very exciting energy. It's opportunities coming in. Could be, in the work sector. Could be just, new endeavors, creative endeavors. It could definitely be, something related to overseas or even study or travel. And we have, I was just looking at the, no, we have 2 threes here. So, this possibly partnering with other people, and then this expansive energy and opportunities and things really starting to, especially with the sun here, things really starting to kind of move now. You know, we're out of this stagnant, this Five of Cups. We're out of this, moving out of this Hangman to this beautiful, you know, energy and warmth of the sun here, and then exciting things coming in. So, yeah, and I don't, you know, it's been sort of for the past week or so, you know, I feel that there's just this major shift coming in, and I can feel, it's like I feel excited. I can feel something coming. So maybe this is what I've been feeling, you know, but it does look like this full moon, especially as it's the full moon in Capricorn. And, you know, Capricorn is very much about, you know, taking control and being in charge, and definitely to do with, you know, your job and work and working hard. And I can, you know, I can feel that, you know, with this spread. I think that this full moon in Capricorn is really sort of pushing us to, you know, to be more productive, to kind of take control, to, you know, to take back if you have sort of either lost power or given power over in some way, you know, to regain your power and this is all about you, this Three of Wands. Yes, usually it's a card of waiting for your ships to come in, right? This return on investment. But especially in this particular deck, it's very much about you taking control and going after what it is that you want here. So, you know, maybe changing life direction, but definitely, you know, you building whatever this new thing is. It's you in control of it. So I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. Thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful full moon in Capricorn. Bye for now.